Welcome back to Between the Frames podcast. Thank you, Mike, for that very explicit introduction.
Wait, that doesn't go on the podcast, does it?
Yes,
no, we're going to chop it out. No, anyway.
When
you guys started on YouTube, what was your introduction? Were you like, hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to my YouTube channel.
You know what's funny?
Joey Salad. Is that
make fun of Joey Salad?
Because you guys always make memes out of it, I actually don't have an intro whatsoever. I just go straight into what I'm talking about.
Do you say hey guys, or do you just...
I don't even say that. I don't even say hey guys.
Acknowledge anybody.
I don't acknowledge anyone. I don't even say my name or anything. I just go, so what we're doing today is we're going to go out and take photos of fucking dumplings.
Just good.
Yeah, that's actually what I do.
I like that.
It's funny. I've only introduced myself like I think once or twice in my videos.
What was yours, Hayden? Wasn't it like, hey yo?
No. At one point I was like, hey yo, what's going on, guys? I used to do this, like the whole, you know how on the sign off I go like I wind up my hand. I'm catch you next time. I used to be like,
that's like Jared Pollan. You know, he just hates him. You can just hear the hate where he goes, Jared Pollan, thrown out. You hear the hatred in his voice because he's just done it for so many years.
He's actually just like bored of it.
Yeah, he's like thrown out. Anyway, so guys,
he's like, I
actually like him. He's been shooting on Nikon like his whole life, and I'm watching him convert himself to Sony, and it's so funny.
The funniest thing. He's like, the digital viewfinder, that's it. That's enough to make me switch from Nikon to Sony. He's like, you can't argue. And he's like, and then he goes on and says, well, what if photographers say, hey, well, you should be able to know the exposure without the digital viewfinder? He's like, no shit.
He's actually super fun. I'd love to meet him one day.
Jared, if you're watching, I love you.
Yeah, we love your content.
Jared, I wish I had your
he's just not watching.
afro.
Yeah.
I want your afro.
He's just not watching.
He's just not watching, but welcome to Sony.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I got
the topic.
Oh,
do we want to do my topic or your topic?
I was going to spit some questions out real quick.
Okay, let's do that instead.
Bang.
Let's do that.
First one is, when are you coming to India?
Okay.
Oh, you're kidding. I've never had that question.
I literally said, ask me some questions. It's like more of like it's not really, it is a question. It's like, when are you coming? Or like, come to India. It's like what you're actually trying to say. You're actually kind of stating. It's not like questioning. Anyway.
You know what? This makes me like, okay, then let's use this topic then.
Cut Hayden off.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then let's do this topic then in regards to we'll combine these two topics. Okay. So relationships on social media. Right. This is the overarching topic. So
before we start that, sorry, you asked that question. When are we going to India? I don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
We actually don't know.
Straight up. To answer that, we just don't know.
We will know.
Anyway, back to you, Limon. Sorry.
Yeah, we don't know wherever we're going.
The idea of this podcast is relationships with people on social media. So, for example, you know, obviously Mike and Liam, you guys met on social media. Same with you, Hayden. And we all met through social media as well. And even the idea of, you know, speaking to fans on social media, DMs that we get, questions that we get asked.
Yeah. Changed my whole life, and the whole planet has changed because of social media.
It really
specifically Instagram has just changed, like the photography scene. Think about the photography scene before Instagram. Like you actually don't post your photos. Like, you know, people in America, we're in Australia. People in America wouldn't see our photos. They just straight up wouldn't see them unless we had a website. But like, you know what I mean? It's changed the whole photography game.
Like, who searches up on the web, on like the internet, goes, oh, I want to look at some photos and be like, I'll search up someone's portfolio.
No.
Like, who does that?
No, it doesn't happen.
What about trying to find models on social media? What do you guys do? Like, when
you just literally type in your area code in the hashtag, and then after it say model.
What about girls
I've never
in
done
general?
Yeah, so I know
on a date.
Most of the girls that I've gone on dates with, these like pretty much the past 2 years since I've been single, I've pretty much most of them have been on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like I barely, like I've downloaded Tinder and other dating apps. I've tried, but they just never seem to work for me. It must be that butt ugly that I can just not get a match. I'm not 6'5" and jacked as fuck. I can't get a match with any girl on Tinder or whatever. Yeah. So just lean over to Instagram, and I just find it easier just to message girls.
You know, you only use Instagram because you have a following, and they just want the clout, right? You cheeky little bugger. I know your idea. Mike has left the building.
Mike has left the chat.
He's left the chat because he's chat.
I
literally tried to turn on the fucking lights, but
They don't do anything.
Yeah, we actually have people
Okay,
studio
anyway,
lights
I
here.
think-
in the dark, murder in the dark.
I
about-
think
what about
like
you?
Instagram is funny. Like obviously there's so many ways you can use it, but in terms of relationships and like you were saying, dating apps, like dude, I personally think dating apps are bad for your mental health.
They
Like,
are.
Yeah.
You are judging someone based on how they look in a photo.
And that's it.
And
yeah.
that-
And that
is
shitty
it.
little bio that says, "Oh my God, message me something funny." Shut the
or
fuck up.
if you're Mike, you have it in the bio. I'm strictly just looking for a model for the photo.
Yeah, okay. No,
I
this is
don't want an
fucking
actual
hilarious.
date.
Okay, this is what I did when we were in Singapore. I literally messaged 13 fucking women to try and model for me for my part of the photo.
They were actually models.
They were actually- yeah, they were
On
actually models,
Instagram.
like legitimate-
Where did you message them on?
I messaged them on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I typed in Singapore model,
Yeah.
and then I messaged them. I found a bunch of, obviously models from Singapore, and the few that did get back to me, half of them were away. They weren't even in Singapore because no one seems to actually live there.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the people were busy, and they couldn't do it because it was like literally within a day, less than a day.
Yeah.
It was on the day. I
So
was
what'd you do,
looking for it.
Mike?
So what I did, Liam, was I actually downloaded Tinder and I wrote in my bio, "Hey, I'm not necessarily." It was still open actually to the dating stuff. Never closed it down. Never gonna ever close that road. But I was like, I'm not necessarily here for a date. And then I just tried to explain the photo battle like in 25 words or less what I actually need.
How'd you go with that?
Is there a character limit to like the Tinder
Yeah,
bio?
there is, but I
That's
didn't
so
fill it
funny.
up. I didn't actually fill it up because
You have to be that desperate to fill it up all the way. It's like, please.
Well, I really love cats.
Go on a date
and
with me.
Yeah, I overdose every night on my medication. Anyway, I'm not going to go there.
Yeah,
That
you
took
go
a very interesting
there.
turn.
Anyway,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Instagram relationships. So Mike, you met Liam through Instagram.
I probably told this story since he put it on his. Since he put it on his story, I probably told this story like 14 times. But
Yeah.
I'll tell it again. I messaged Liam because I was lonely and I was looking for another like-minded photographer, and I found Liam's Instagram, which has still been Seventh Era this whole time.
Yeah.
And I've been Northborders this whole time because at the time when we were photographers, it was cool to have like a
Anonymous name.
Yeah, persona. Yeah, anonymous.
Alter ego.
No one knew who we were, so I literally had no idea what Liam looked like, who he was, whatever. Right?
Who said that was cool, by the way?
It wasn't. No one
Where did
said
you
it.
get that from?
It just everyone did it.
Costin first, like with some other ones. Night Shift.
I was gonna say Ryan Miller, but that's his actual name.
Yeah,
We never knew what he looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, and Trash Hand.
Trash hand.
Yeah. Shout out to Trash Hand.
19
from Chicago.
tones.
Yeah, actually, kind of. Yeah,
I didn't know him at the time though.
I started following 19 Tones like about a year into when I actually took. I've been following him for years. Yeah. Anyway.
But anyway,
Palander.
anyway, we met.
That's
through
his
him.
actual. Nah.
No,
Imagine if that's
yeah.
not even his name.
I followed him for ages as well.
Yeah.
That's so good.
But anyway, I messaged him because he uploaded a photo of Flinders Street Station, our local train station in the city, with the District 9 spaceship above it,
Love
like
the shit.
photoshopped.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. So I messaged him and I was like, hey, would you by any chance like to go take photos together sometime? And remember, I didn't know that he was the same age as me, literally went to a school pretty much next door to me, lived 10 minutes up the road from me.
Yeah.
Nothing, no idea.
Ridiculous.
And then ever since then, we pretty much, been best mates shot ever since. So he's like one of the first people I ever messaged on Instagram to shoot with.
Imagine you didn't message me.
Yeah.
None of this would happen.
No.
Like,
Like, imagine
right
that.
now. Yeah.
That's
If I-
just how
what
it
if
is.
I even typed the message but I forgot to send it?
Or if you were like, what? Or no, what if you were like, you started typing, but then you stopped and you deleted it and you're like, oh, nah, I'm not cool enough. And then you just like,
Yeah.
don't ever do it.
Have you read the message that you typed though?
Yeah.
Like, it was on your story, right?
Yeah,
It was so funny.
It was just like,
Yeah.
I was like, what are you doing, bro? You want to shoot?
I was like,
yeah, bro, I'm just chilling.
Just
no,
chilling.
I was like, yeah, sounds just chilling, and you're like, yeah, sounds kick.
I'm like,
Sounds
what?
kick.
It's like, you want to go on a photo shoot? I'm like, yeah, that sounds kick.
Wait, I thought that was a typo. I thought you meant to say sick.
No, like I used to say, like at my school, everyone would make up these like sayings, and one of them was like kick, which meant like
Do you actually remember Kick, the app?
Like cat.
I remember that app.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember that. I had that on my
nudes I got off girls back.
Message me on Kick.
Yeah, it's like
Welcome to Between the Frames, where we talk about Mike
didn't
and his
you and-
nude stories. Wow.
Didn't
I
Lamont
can't
and-
say how old I was then or how old the girls was because the FBI will come through the fucking wall.
Yeah.
So
The FBI is
Lamont.
like to this music.
Nah,
So
didn't
okay.
you and Mike meet on Instagram?
yeah.
Back in year 4. No, we
Yeah.
live across the road from each other. Always have, always will.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah,
you don't
even
know
when
that.
you're 99 years old, you guys are still going to be living in the same place. Your dad's going to, for some reason,
My
still
dad's-
be alive.
And
Yeah.
just
It's 165. He's like, take the bins out.
Mike, tell me my salami tastes yummy.
Yeah. it's his
stuck
turn.
around for the
sounds
last
really-
podcast.
That sounds really bad. Out of context.
That's definitely going to be the start of the podcast.
My
Yeah.
salami's yummy. Give me that.
How about Lamont? Who have you met on Instagram who you like still meet up with? Like models,
specifically, what
photographers.
girls?
Landa. She's like this model. She does like
Yeah.
random. She does a lot of TikTok stuff now.
Yeah.
It's funny, but she used to post a whole bunch of random memes and shit to her
Yeah.
Instagram page, and I thought it was funny as fuck. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to meet up with you and shoot with
Yeah.
you. Yeah, and so we did that.
But
and,
how'd
like,
you guys meet? Through Insta.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
just
because
a message.
well, Toby Trin, is a close friend of ours, but he shot with Lander in the past.
Yeah.
So, and I saw the photos. I'm like, oh, this is
He
kinda
actually
cool.
shot with her or just said that he shot with her? Because Toby's got a little bit of a reputation for saying that he shot with models. And then we've asked the models if they shot with Toby. And they're like, no.
He knows everyone.
By
on this-
reputation,
know a lot of
I
people.
mean, it happened once.
Yeah.
Yeah, only happened once.
Yeah.
I don't, like, and he actually does shoot with a lot of models.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
thing.
No, it's
Toby's-
just funny. It was
he
just
knows a
fucking
lot of-
hilarious.
I love
love you,
Toby.
Toby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, he actually did shoot with Lando.
Yeah.
by the
Okay.
way. And so like
confirmed.
I saw the work and like that's sick, and like I just spoke to him on Instagram. It's like, hey, you got some cool stuff. Let's meet up and shoot sometimes. Like, yeah. And like from then on, like she's been helping me out with like random like portrait shoots and what? Is there anything
Sorry, I
wrong?
just farted.
Oh.
Me and Liam just made eye contact.
I thought Adam was behind about to put me in a chokehold or something.
No,
It's
yeah,
like-
Because he kept looking
Adam
back, and I was
comes
like,
up.
what is?
But yeah,
Yeah,
so you
anyway.
can shoot with her still.
Yeah, so
still.
like you know, sometimes I go and help out with the because like I go help her film like random TikToks
Yeah.
and stuff. And I went to a party as well and met a whole bunch of other creatives
Yeah.
who are really awesome to hang out with. I hang out with them from time to time. And yeah, so I met them through Instagram. Like,
Yeah.
imagine if I just didn't send a message out saying, "Yeah, I like your stuff."
Yeah.
It's just like I wouldn't have known them.
Exactly. It
Yeah.
all stems
It all
off from that
yeah,
one
exactly.
little message. One little message.
And then it's also you
Who's it?
actively going out saying, "Hey, let's meet
Yeah.
up. Let's go take photos." Or
Proactive.
Let's meet up and do
Proactive.
something.
Yes.
Yeah. So you just got to be proactive with it.
Yeah.
Speaking
Yeah.
of, like, you talked a little bit about how Atlanta does TikToks. What do you guys honestly think about TikTok?
It's an interesting platform.
Yeah.
When you say
Really
interesting, expand on that.
Elaborate.
Well,
Elaborate, mate.
it's a really think about how new it is. It's a really new platform, similar to how
Actually, it's been around
Instagram
for
was.
ages. It's just been picked up recently. That's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah, I've heard that
Yeah.
there's been a lot of funding behind it now recently, and people started
Done a
actually-
little cheeky Bitcoin where it's just all of a sudden
Yeah.
1 month.
That's
yeah.
with a lot of apps though.
Yeah,
if
of
you think
course.
about it, and it's still young, it's still maturing. So I think if you want to get followers and clout or likes and stuff, it's really easy to grow on TikTok because it's really easy to grow naturally.
Yeah.
Organically through it.
Can I
Sorry.
just say I hate clout? Like, I hate that
Oh,
idea.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
fucking
That
bullshit.
word.
It's more of a meme to me now, to be honest. Like I just laugh about it.
Dude, like I had a mate that called me up the other week and he's like, I love what you're doing on YouTube and stuff, and it's crazy to see how many followers and people that follow you now. And I'm like, and it's like, what I love about you, Mike, is that you've stayed the same. And I'm like, well, no shit. Like, what? I haven't fucking converted my body into someone else, and now I'm a new person.
Yeah.
I haven't
To be fair, like, he has a point, though, because, like,
Okay,
a
yeah,
lot
it's
of people
obviously-
do.
Yeah, that's true.
No, dude, yeah. It's like, obviously, it's not like no shit, but it's just like, I don't have. I guess like being with you guys keeps me so grounded because if it happens because I actually get it, like by yourself to build yourself to that level with no mates, no nothing, it's in your room or whatever. Like that is hard, man.
That's what happened to me.
Yeah, well, to dedicate yourself. Yeah,
that's how I came across all this shit.
Yeah.
I was reading books and stuff. I'm like, okay, if I don't keep myself in the ground, if I don't put myself in the freaking ground,
6 foot
I
under,
don't
like,
shit on myself,
then I'm actually going to ruin myself.
yeah.
yeah.
Gotta
That's
let go
really
of
good.
your ego.
Well,
anyway.
Anyway,
Yeah, that was a lot of people at VidCon.
Yeah.
I remember one of the VidCon parties in LA that we went to.
Was
there was
the
this
TikTok
girl.
party? Oh,
What's
sorry.
that?
I was saying, was the TikTok party? Was it at that party?
Yeah, there were a lot of TikTok people
Yeah.
there, but there were a lot of YouTubers,
Yeah.
Facebookers, Snapchatters, a lot of people on
Facebookers.
social media.
yeah, Facebook
Yeah.
Watch. Yeah, well, like people that you said, like EA,
Prince EA.
Prince EA. Yeah, what's it?
Yeah.
And then like there's another dude that kind of looks like Prince EA, but I think he's Indian and he's got like bright blue eyes.
Anyway.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
the guy-
Jay Shetty.
Yeah, that guy. And then
I
like
don't know any of them.
Yeah, but
Supercar Blondie
there was this,
probably
there was this
originated
girl
there.
that like went up to me and like we were just talking and actually I went up to her. I went up to her. Anyway,
Yeah.
we were just
Yeah,
talking and
hate
stuff,
her.
but then we ended up like exchanging social medias and stuff. But then like when like I just followed her, I'm like, okay, cool, Instagram, follow, done. And then she gets like I get up my Instagram on her phone so that we can connect, and she's like, "Oh my god, you have like 150,000 followers."
Yeah, actually that happened to us as well. Yeah, because we walked into it's bullshit because it's like people then obviously shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you feel
People
when that
change
happened?
their perspective of you from looking at, dude, that's why I genuinely think, and a lot of people in the audience are going to be like, oh, what are you talking about kind of thing. But in my opinion, I feel like followers should almost be like the amount of money that you have. Like it shouldn't be public. But the problem is if it wasn't public, then a lot of people wouldn't have the incentive to go on it in the first place. But at the same time, because Instagram removes their likes for like a lot of the countries, you actually get rid of the people that are fake and you bring in the people that are more in it for the creativity as it is.
Yeah.
So I think that if it was treated more seriously, like sort of like a bank account where it's just like you don't talk about it, you don't brag about it or anything, then it would be all that would be left is the people that would want to create as it is. But that's just not reality.
No, I think it comes down to like a shift in the mentality of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
but that's easier said than done. But yeah, what were you saying? You went up to this girl.
Yeah. She started like sort of treating me differently, and I'm just like, yeah, like whatever. I have 150,000 followers. Like, who actually cares?
It means
But then like
nothing,
it was the biggest deal to her, and she literally said to me, like, she was joking, but she was like, oh yeah, like I'm a clout chaser, but like she was saying it sarcastically, but it was one of those jokes where it was like, that's not a joke. Like,
Yeah, like
You can
actually
clearly
what you
tell
think.
it's actually what she
Yeah.
embodies.
You tell
weird.
people that to like
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
you're
a lot of
insecure. Yeah, it's
people,
fucked.
and I feel like that's LA as well. Not I can't generalize at all. I love LA, and I think that there's a lot of good people there. Obviously, it's just
Yeah.
like anywhere, but
Yeah.
I think that specifically because it's like Hollywood is there.
That's
there's a
true,
whole lot of people chasing fame, chasing the clout, the social status and stuff, and so you inevitably when you go to LA VidCon, you're going to run into people that are like, clout baby, clout. Like that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is so funny as well because doing YouTube and doing what we do on the streets, holding cameras and stuff, obviously it's such an interesting question to ask someone, which is like, you don't walk up to someone in a suit holding a briefcase and go, oh, how much money do you make?
Yeah.
Obviously you don't say that to random people you meet on the street, but when you hold a camera in your face and you tell someone that you're a YouTuber, I was at Officeworks getting something printed a few months ago, right? And I'm just standing in line. Like imagine this, setting the scene, right? It's quiet. The only thing that's happening is printers. Just that's it. It's all that's happening. And there's just a line. And there's me just holding my camera. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I should probably say what I'm doing right now. It's just quiet. And then I just pull my camera out and go, yes, I'm just at office right now. And there's just people behind me. And this dude in front of me just like full on like just massive geese. He's like, what the fuck is this guy doing? He's got like this, because you know the mics like that
Dead
we have,
cat.
the dead cat, like
Yeah.
looks like it's a bloody
Probably
fucking
holding
animal.
a little tripod thing.
Yeah,
as
I was holding
well.
it, like,
yeah.
you know,
it's a
it's-
full vlogging setup.
Yeah, it's like you can't
hectic.
not look
Yeah.
at it. Like you have to look at it,
Yeah.
right?
It's in everyone's face.
Exactly. So anyway, I do my little part or whatever, and then I put it back down by my side. I just go back like I didn't even do anything. As I usually do, right? Because that's what I do, right? And this guy's like, kind of turning around, trying to have a look at my camera again. And then eventually builds up enough courage and he goes, "Hey, buddy, what kind of camera is that?"
Yeah.
Because I watched him like go like try. Anyway, so we get in this conversation about cameras and stuff or whatever. And then he goes about like, "Oh, so like, I saw you like talking, like, what do you do?" And I'm like, "Oh, I just make videos about trying to like take photos and stuff like that." And then, yeah, pretty much just do YouTube. And he goes, "Oh, yeah. And how does that pay?" And I hate getting asked, like, how much do I get paid? Because it's just like, especially on YouTube, it's such like a volatile thing that happens or whatever.
It's chump change.
You actually can't even tell them.
Yeah, you can't.
There's no set figure.
YouTube is a different, like, because YouTube works through AdSense and they both tell you different things. And then what lastly comes into your bank account each month is completely different to both of those numbers. So it's like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, anyway, so I just tell people as a joke, like, yeah, about $10
Just
a month.
10.
Yeah, just $10.
That's what you say.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, oh no, sorry, that was a different guy. That was a different time." I told this guy because I was like, I didn't really want to talk about it, but instead, what I said was, anywhere between $40,000 to $65,000 a month.
Did you say that?
That's what I said to him, and he was shocked after I said. He's like, "Month? What do you mean month?" And I was like super humble about it. I was like, "Yeah, like it really kind of depends on like how many videos I upload and like kind of
Starts
stuff."
convulsing.
And I'm like, and then they're like, "Yeah, who's next?" And he's like, "Oh, well, I gotta go." And he's like convulsing. Like, yeah, but it's like, dude, like fuck it. Like, oh, you don't ask people how much money you make.
Yeah.
I think
Super invasive.
sometimes it stems out of interest, but then it's like, it's more so because it's like a different job. Like,
Yeah, of course.
It's like they just don't understand.
it's just
I get it.
they're just interested. They're not.
Yeah.
But I do get it. At the same time, it's none of your business
Yeah.
to know how much
Yeah.
money someone makes.
Yeah.
But who cares, honestly?
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. It's just
You know what? Like the thing is, I have no problem in knowing how much someone makes or how many followers anyone has, but I have a problem with people treating people differently when they know.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember that that girl that we approached during the LA photo battle? We were at Hollywood Boulevard. We're like, "Oh, would you be able to like model for us?" Because she had like an ice cream. And I was like, "Oh, like, would you be able to model for us?" She was like kind of hesitant as well. I was like, "Oh, no." So like, what do you do? It's like, "Oh, like we're actually photographers in a photo battle moment. We're doing a video. This is like," and you were showing like, "See, this is actually me. I'm an Instagram like photographer." And it was like, "Oh my gosh, you have
She
100,000,
lost her shit. Yeah.
like 100,000 followers. Oh my gosh!" It's like, "Mom, look, he's famous." And it's like, and
brings
then-
the mum
and-
into it.
Yeah, and then I was like, "Mom,
She's
can you?"
like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, and it's like, "Mom, can you take a photo? Can I take
And
a
you
photo
guys
with
like,
that?" And I'm just like,
limit here.
yeah, and I'm just like,
I'm actually thinking like we need to get back to the bookstore,
Yeah.
the last bookstore.
yeah, and I was like, Jesus. I was just watching this entire thing pan out. I'm like, why is this the case? It's like her entire mentality just shift as soon as she found out, oh my gosh, 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
And
fuck
it's
no.
just like,
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
think-
it's interesting.
yeah.
Interesting.
super interesting because like it's just all a new thing, and I'm so keen to see how society looks at all the numbers and what happens with it. Like, you know how we've got Instagram deleting the likes or not showing the likes.
Yeah,
Facebook
yeah.
now doesn't show likes.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. I
really?
realized
Yeah.
that
I don't
recently. I was
actually,
like,
no, you're right.
Yeah.
I don't go on Facebook.
Yeah,
so-
so like I'm so interested in seeing where this whole social media thing shifts in the next 10 years. Like, will there even be likes? Will there be this new thing called blow? And that means
blowy. blowy. Give me a blowy.
maybe, hey, you never know. Instead of like, oh, I got 10,000 likes, like, I got
20
10,000 blowies.
oh my God.
Mate,
No, you
You
have
want
AIDS. That's what you have.
10,000 odd
You have
blowies.
herpes.
you know what I
Not
mean?
blowies. You have
Like
herpes and
blowflies.
that
The
sort of-
point
course.
is, I'm interested to see where this whole social media thing goes in the next 10 years. And I don't know why the first
How
thing
did you
that
get blowies?
I tried to
You
make
said
up
blowy.
I tried to make up a random word, like
blowies.
just a random word. And then
Or with like a,
blowy came out.
Did you do
Anyway.
that thing where you're like, I'll just think about it when I'm saying it? Like, you know, when you just
Yeah.
like, you,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we get in the mentality where it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, nothing ever matters. Like, I'll just make it up on the spot. And
I'm just
you,
gonna check the camera.
yeah,
I was
that's
like,
just
you made it up so far on the spot that you're like, oh,
blowy.
I hope my brain just, I wish it just worked for
I
4
know.
months.
It was like, blowy.
yeah. That's,
All right, here's
so
a
funny.
question.
Anyway,
All
yeah.
right, you want to do some rapid fire questions?
Okay, so these
Yes.
are the responses on one of your stories. Is it
Actually,
on
like,
Instagram?
let's not go rapid fire. Let's actually elaborate on some of these questions. If they're interesting.
Okay, if they're rapid fire, they're rapid fire. If they're interesting, they're interesting. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Who drives the worst car?
Liam.
You don't even drive a car.
I don't even drive a car.
Well,
so
But the
technically-
cars that you do drive.
Out of us three, me. Well, who owns?
Next question. That's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
simple.
Yeah, because I've got a
But, like,
Polo.
it's
It's not a bad
subjective.
car.
No, it's based on price. Me.
Yeah.
My
okay.
car.
Yeah,
I bought
yeah,
it for-
that's true.
I bought my
Yeah.
car for $3,000.
And still worth $3,000. Good investment. Anyway, how to get started on YouTube?
Just start.
Start.
Don't think, just do.
Yeah, I agree.
Done.
You should do live podcasts.
That's something that we do want to work
Maybe
towards.
we should be doing this as a fucking live stream.
Should just do
I'm
it.
doing it. I'm putting this on my live stream.
Thank you. Who told us to do that?
Because the thing
Street
is,
Ninjas.
That's a great
Shout out to
idea.
Street
I'm gonna
Ninjas
put
Yeah.
this on
feature
my-
Is that the
page.
feature
oh
page?
yeah, I
You
remember
should
those
feature
guys.
me sometime because I really need the followers.
I don't know,
To the next
I don't know
point.
how I'm
Yeah.
gonna
I need
live
the exposure.
This. All right, you guys keep talking. I'm gonna
Yeah.
try and figure this out.
Yeah. Okay. Next question.
I screenshot one before that I really want to talk about, something that we can actually elaborate on.
Yeah.
Go for it.
What steps should I follow growing my Instagram? I want to share my vision with many others.
Okay.
Okay, so I get the whole like I want to share my work with more people side of
Yeah,
things. Like I want to
It makes sense.
be able to for more people to see my work, and I want to be able to inspire more people. But what I think, this has always been my mentality for a while, is that instead of trying to get more people to follow your work, and let's say you're trying to get to 10K as an example, right? And instead of saying like, oh my God, like I'm at 9,800 followers, like just need 200 more people.
That's
like,
putting that on your story.
yeah, putting that and then getting other people to share it. Like, it's like, why don't you focus instead of worrying about trying to get to 10K, which is just some
definitely.
little milestone in your own head. Why don't you work on providing value to the 9,800 people or whatever amount of people that follow you already and give some value back to them? Because 9,800 people, if you do have that many or whatever, or it doesn't fucking
That's
matter.
still a lot of people.
Think about the
200
photo
people.
walks.
That's 200 people.
Right? Our photo walks, they're crazy. It's flooded with people, right? And it's only a couple hundred people at most. And that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, like, putting that onto Instagram is just like a tiny little number. It means fucking nothing to some people. You know what I mean? Like, I only got a couple hundred followers. That's a lot of people that you can still provide value to.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Exactly.
instead of trying to grow and following steps, there is no right or wrong way. The only thing that you should be doing is providing value to the people that follow you. And naturally, people are going to be like, oh, well, what's your name here? Alex, right? Alex Chistel. Okay. If Alex is providing value to me, right? And I see one of his Instagram posts and I go, you know what? That was actually really informative. I'm going to share that to one of my mates. I'm like, yeah, go check out Alex. He's actually really good. Like,
Yeah.
you said this, whatever.
And that's
Naturally-
happened before.
Yeah.
Like you've done that to me and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
dude, this guy's photos are sick. I'm going to follow him.
Yeah, exactly. And that
Page in the
yeah,
corner
you're
here, just trying to set up
Don't
this
worry about Hayden.
live stream.
He's just thinking. Just
Yeah.
doing,
Yeah,
not
just
thinking.
Just
Yeah,
let him
no,
do his thing.
I
Can't be a
100%,
fucking- yeah.
100%
Yeah, it's
agree
like-
with you. Like you
There's no
just
steps.
got to provide value, but at the same time, the first things first. Make sure you got to love what you're doing. You can't be like imagine if I was just like woke up tomorrow. I was like, I want to become a property investor influencer, but I didn't like it, but I just wanted to be that. Like unless there's passion behind it, you're just not going to succeed.
Yeah, that's
There's
true.
no way you're going to succeed.
Yeah,
You know?
no
Yeah.
way.
Has the live stream started?
I've just set up a live stream while we're doing our
Sweet.
podcast.
Nice.
So
Hopefully the
on
audio's
Instagram.
good enough.
Yeah, the audio's probably going to suck,
Yeah.
but hopefully
Yeah.
you guys can hear. Anyway,
Yeah.
on to the
Headphones
next
in.
question.
You know what? In the future, we can probably, because this does have Bluetooth, you can connect up to this
Yeah.
thing, so you can
the
actually
future.
hear the audio from
Yeah,
the
we'll do it in
podcast
the
into.
future.
Yeah, that is
actually
the best
live
thing
stream.
we've ever bought. That's
Yeah.
the best tech you've
So-
ever bought.
All right,
yeah.
what's the next question?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Rapid fire. Righto.
Shout out to Uncommon Podcast for the rapid fire.
Yeah. It's a good idea.
What's the next question?
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you think, I haven't even read this yet, do you think it is necessary to make a portfolio website when you already have Instagram? No. I don't think so.
Wait,
No.
can I say something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Depending on who you're working for, because I know with some clients, an Instagram page means nothing to them. They want to
That's
see
true.
like a website because they're a bit,
Yeah, you're
they're a
right.
bit old fashioned. They're not up with the
right.
new tech.
Yeah.
Well, he's asking us. So for my work, no, because everything is obviously on YouTube and for Instagram. But
Yeah.
like you said, it depends on your situation. If you do a lot of commercial work and you fly drones, for example, and you're trying to reach out to, a little short film company or a movie company or whatever, and you're trying to apply to be a drone pilot, they're going to want to see your work somewhere. So whether you upload that to Vimeo and have an external link onto your website or whatever, or have a bunch of
Yeah.
like roll shots or whatever, then yeah, I get it. Like, yeah, website can help.
Yeah. Short answer is depends. Freelance
depends,
work and
yeah.
stuff, yep. If you're doing YouTube creative stuff, no.
But I wouldn't bother with like whole SEO searching like photographer or whatever. I would go out and meet people and give business cards out and then direct people to your website and just have it as a place where it's your work is on there rather than trying to, have it in the search results of
No.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Next question, brother.
Okay. Is Liam is Liam's does it prove that Liam is having more fun because he's blonde?
What?
How they
Apparently
say blondes
blonde people have more fun?
So you're having
Question
more
mark?
fun because you've been
Oh,
blonde?
is that a saying?
Yeah, blonde people have
dude.
blondes.
Blondes are more fun.
Some chick said that to me. I thought she was just hitting on me. Is that a
She
saying?
probably was.
That's a saying. Probably both.
Yeah.
Probably
Ah.
both.
Look,
One's 100% a saying, and the other one was
Yeah.
both. That she's hitting on you.
I don't know.
I'm to be honest, I'm actually having more fun.
Is it because it's the change?
It's objective.
You know,
So
it's what?
it's very objective.
Dude, it is. You know what's
Objective.
fun about it though?
Joking. Obviously.
Yeah, I know.
It's fun because I get to look in the mirror and I get confused every morning. I'm like, oh wait, I've got blonde hair. This is sick. I can like mess it up, like whatever. It's like it's just different.
Yeah.
You know, in
Yeah.
my house, when the garage door opens slowly and I start seeing your feet, and then I see, oh yeah, Hayden's got shorts on today.
Yeah.
And then I see a t-shirt color, and then I see half your head. Every single time that Liam comes over, it's like all the way up to here, it's Liam, and then it's like, oh, he's got blonde hair. I always forget.
Somebody took my hair off
Somebody-
my head.
No, it's there. It's just a different
just
color.
there.
Yeah.
You
Just
But
pop.
you know what though?
Next
Going
question.
back to that saying, I've heard that blondes are dumber. Like, have you heard that?
Whoa.
Yeah.
well,
like,
that is,
it's,
you just don't say the D word.
You
on
don't.
this.
You don't go down.
Actually, yeah, that's one
I'm
question.
dumb on.
No one is dumb. People are just stupid.
People are just.
They're just
Okay. Which photo battle was your favorite and why?
Ooh.
New York.
New York.
New York.
What about you?
Well, I like the I really did like New York, but I want to be different. I like
As
the.
in, wait. When you say
Well,
which,
why though? Why?
which
Okay.
was your favorite, as in the outcome or like
No, just in general.
Just in general,
fun,
right?
The whole
Yeah,
while
yeah.
you're doing
The
it.
whole, like just as a whole. What was your favorite photo battle and why?
For me, New York because I just love the city. It's just fucking insane. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I really liked the LA one where we had the portrait thing.
Yeah.
I think because that really threw me in the deep end as a photographer because I don't really shoot portraits that much.
Yeah.
And I had fun going up to people, and we actually had some good stakes in there as well because we got rejected and yelled at by a
Yeah.
few people and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And LA is just a really interesting place
It
because
is.
I actually don't like the city of LA. Like, I'll be brutally honest. I actually
What do
really
you not like about it?
I don't like the energy in the city. I like the outskirts, like the beaches and stuff are beautiful, like down near Newport and Laguna and stuff. Like that part of California is awesome, but I don't like being in the city because I feel unsafe and I feel like people are watching me because it's just because I'm not familiar with the city, but I just think like you walk down one wrong street and there's just weird people there. And it just makes me feel super unsafe. And I don't feel like, obviously I know anything about the city, but then you walk a different way and you're in like beautiful architecture and it's just like super confusing like that. But that's what made it fun as well at the same time.
How about you?
Yeah,
Raise
it makes it interesting. Definitely. There's a lot of interesting people.
Limon.
Yeah. I still really love the Osaka one.
Yeah.
Osaka.
Oh, you
Osaka was his favorite.
That
That was
was-
the start of this year. Can you believe that?
Yeah, that was the
That
very
was
first
so
photo
that
battle.
was really fun. I think because it was the very first one. We had no idea
Yeah.
what we were doing, and it was like a huge adrenaline rush. And by the end, we were just like, "Holy shit!
We just
like,
did that.
What have
Yeah.
we done?"
Yeah,
Like
we just
That
created.
was so much fun. That was the beginning of the photo battles.
Osaka was.
You know when Tony
hectic.
Stark creates a new element?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
awesome.
Archean.
With
Yeah.
photo
That was
battle.
him. Yeah.
Literally.
What about you, Hayden? What was yours?
I reckon. Well, Osaka was probably the most exciting because it was the first one. But my favorite was probably the Singapore one.
Really?
Yeah, when I was in Singapore, I was like, even though I was by myself and stuff and things just didn't go to plan at the start, I started really getting into the flow of things. I wasn't overthinking shit.
Yeah.
I was just like, you know what? Okay, done. Good enough. On to the next thing. And plus, I met up with Mike. We ended up bumping into each other, which was
yeah.
kind of funny.
Yeah.
And
That's true.
I felt like I
The
was...
stakes there as well were
Yeah.
crazy.
I think that because it was only 3 hours, because it was so short.
I like the 3 hour ones.
Yeah, it like pushes it so that you have to like go like so fast paced kind of thing, and
Yeah.
you don't have any time to think. You only have time to do.
Yeah.
There's
So
no-
you're put into the moment so
No
well.
perfection. You just
Yeah,
eliminate perfection. All right, next
It's like a
question.
practice for mindfulness almost, the photo battle.
Yeah,
it's
I
like a
think-
mindfulness
I think
exercise.
most of them should be 3 hours from now on, except for really big cities. Like New York definitely should have been 4 hours.
I
think so.
It's a big boy city.
That is a fat city.
Youngest
Anyway,
Especially with
New York.
traffic as well.
yeah, that
Take
was a
into
fact. Anyway,
consideration.
crazy client stories. You're crazy. Anyone got a crazy client
I'll
story?
have to think. You guys go first.
Far out.
Crazy client story. Oh, actually.
Do you have one? I'm trying to think as well.
Well, event photography. There's been a few times where I actually have missed out on the actual events.
Film some of this as well, haven't you?
Yeah. No. It's completely fair enough. It's not crazy client stories so much. It's more like crazy, stupid Hayden stories where like I've had some plans and I haven't I didn't.
It's not
use
the
it.
client's fault. It's actually
It's
100% your fault.
150% my fault. I said to them like. This is when you know that you're terrible with business. When you say to the client, okay, just make sure that you remind me a week out.
Did you used to say
That's
that?
what I used to do because I
Put on
didn't
a
care. Like
calendar.
I straight up just did not give a shit about my company, like at all. I just like to go partying, baby. That's all I did. But anyway, so the reason I wouldn't have a schedule, I wouldn't be like writing down reminders or anything. So I would there would be a Saturday would come along. I would drive up to Melbourne to see you boys. Then I get a message on my Facebook page saying like, "Hey, excuse me, when are you coming to the party? Like, you're already half an hour late."
You had to call your mates
just
to cover you every time.
Yeah, literally. So I'm like, dude, can you please help me? And he's like, nah, man, I'm at my girlfriend's. And I'm like, okay, boop. And I go take up another one. I'm like, dude, Scott, can you please just help me out this one time? Even though it's the 50th time I've done this. Can you please help me out? And he's just like, nah, not this time. Whatever excuse. So there was a few times where there was no photographer that rocked up to the event.
You still get paid?
No, I didn't have any deposits, so no.
Fuck, imagine if you had to reimburse. That would be the worst.
It was more like I didn't care about the fact. Obviously, I didn't care about the fact that I didn't get paid. It's just the fact that I felt so bad.
Yeah.
That there was no photographer. They employed me, and so I got a few 1-star reviews. I think it's still at 4.9 stars on the Facebook page, which is still solid, but it used to be a solid 5. But hey, perfectionism is the enemy of humanity.
Yeah,
the
not in a
acceptance
business, bro.
of a negative experience. So they should just accept that I'm not there, and then they'll be happy.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I actually have a crazy client that wasn't my fault.
here we go.
You want to hear this?
Here we
Okay,
go.
so back when I was working at the car dealership, there was a client there that went and bought a bunch of different cars, right? Like millions of dollars this guy spent at once, right? And later I found out the reason why he was doing it was that in Australia you have to pay 33% tax on any luxury car, called luxury car tax.
Yep.
Go figure. Which is obviously if you're buying a $5 million Ferrari, 33% it's ridiculous, right? It's stupid, right? And this is it was mainly for new cars that came in, but there was still stamp duty you had to pay, which was 4% on when you had to go get the rego exchanged or whatever. So 4% of 5 million, you do the math, that's still a couple of $100,000 or something, is it? Yeah, it's or 50.
4% of 5 million.
5 million. What's that? Still
grand.
what?
Wait.
What? It doesn't.
Four.
I can't be bothered working
It doesn't
out.
fucking matter. It's a lot of money, right? Anyway,
dumb
the cars are
YouTubers.
money. Anyway, but to get around that, if you were a car dealership, you didn't have to pay stamp duty, right?
Yeah.
So this guy, he sold his company and, worth a couple billion now, comes into our dealership, buys, Ferrari Enzo, SLR, McLaren, F-Type, not F-Type, E-Type Jags, old Porsches, like 8 different just amazing supercars, right? Anyway, so I didn't realize this at the time, but he's like, oh yeah, I need all my cars photographed and put online. So he's like, you do the photography here, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, yeah, cool. Can you come by my shop sometime and you just send a quote to my manager of how much it's going to cost, whatever it is, and just come down. And this is my first actual big proper job as well.
Yeah.
He wanted 30 photos of each car, and he had 8 cars. So it's a lot of work I'm about to go do, right? Anyway, what's funny, huh?
Yeah, I thought that was a laugh as well. It was a
Anyway,
chuckle.
yeah, so I write the invoice up. I charged him about $6,000 to do a couple hundred photos for him. He also wanted the number plates photoshopped, which I didn't actually find out until later. But anyway, because I'm just sort of starting to remember the story now. Anyway, so I rock up to his warehouse where he had all these cars, and it took me 2 days to photograph all the cars because it was a tight warehouse. So we had to get the cars in and out, and I was only doing it at night after work, after hours. And so it took me 3 hours one night, and then I came back the next night and did the other cars, and then I had to edit all the photos, right? And luckily I asked for half the payment up front before I even started doing any of the work, which I'm so glad I did. So I got about $3,000 actually in my pocket up front before I even did any work. And then after I'd done all the work, right, they were like, yeah, okay, can you actually Photoshop all the number plates out and put our business on the number plates, right? So I had to go back through every single photo that I'd edited, right, and every single one of the cars had a number plate on it. And I had to Photoshop, sit there through every photo of the car, pretty much except for the interior shots, and put number plates on these cars, right?
Really?
So and I didn't charge them extra for that because I didn't know how to charge extra. And I didn't say it originally, if we want me to edit photos.
Just careful, Mike. Your mic is falling down.
Sorry.
So
yeah. And I forgot to charge extra. I didn't say it at the start, you have to, pay extra if you want me to edit the photos again or whatever. Anyway, so I go through and I'm like, okay, well, I'm already getting a lot of money for this. So I'll just go through and whatever, and I'll, Photoshop the photos again. And then I send it back to them. Don't hear a response for almost a week. Send a follow-up email, and I say, hey guys, haven't heard a response. I just need the rest of the invoice paid. And they're like, yeah, actually, one of the cars that you photographed doesn't look like the car at all. The color's completely wrong. You've edited it wrong. And I was like, what the fuck?
Did you though?
No, it's perfect. The car was green, and the lighting fucking sucked as well. But I think I did a pretty good job of matching the green. It's just an olive green old Porsche, right? Yeah. And I matched the color pretty well to what it was. Sorry if it was 2 shades off, but you really can't be that picky about it to that point. Whereas no, we're not going to pay you any more money because the color is a little bit off if it was. But probably now I probably could have fixed up a little bit better, but to my knowledge at the time, I think I did a pretty good job. And plus all the effort I did into all other 7 cars was ridiculous, right? And they're like, no, you haven't done the job, so we're not going to pay you.
Oh.
And I was like, what? And you know what? I said it to my boss because obviously this guy was buying cars from us. And I was like, can you just have a chat to him or something? Because I'm just losing $3,000 in 3 days of my time. I'm not getting any money for it. And so one of the salesmen, he helped me out, write an email back to him and said, I'm sorry. And then he starts going on, sorry, the original client starts saying, yeah, all the photos look horrible. They don't look right and whatever. They don't look good. The angles are all wrong.
Here we go.
What the fuck? What about the other times that I sent back the photos and they were fine, and all of a sudden now there's a problem? Why are you telling me this so late in advance?
Yeah.
And then he was like, no, you said you could do the job right and you've done it all wrong. I don't like the photos and stuff like that. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm actually just getting fucking scammed right now by this billionaire who's got $15 million in cars. I was ready to go throw a brick through his fucking window. I was
probably the reason why he's a billionaire, because he doesn't pay anyone.
That's what I thought. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, he doesn't pay it. And I reckon if he's like that to some photographer that he's 18-year-old kid at the time who never even met, if he did that to me and cut me off like that, I couldn't even imagine what he's done to people throughout his business or whatever. So what we did was that the next time he bought a car, this is why my boss was such a legend, right? And maybe one of the reasons why he's not working there anymore. But the next car that he bought from us, when he dropped $2 or $3 million on this car, they added extra costs into the car or whatever, and $3,000 or $2,800 and whatever dollars went to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good then.
Yeah, it worked out in the end, but not from him, unfortunately.
Bit of a kerfuffle.
Yeah, and the reason why he wanted all these cars photographed is so he could put it on a website that no one could type in or find, but if the government asked, Australian government or Victorian government asked, oh, why are you not paying stamp duty, is because he's technically registered as a car dealership, and he's got his cars for sale, triple the price of what he's bought them for.
What?
And they're online, so he's technically, all on paper, a car dealership, and that's why he doesn't have to pay any stamp duty or extra money on his car.
This is just an off-brand, shitty, fake car dealership.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's not going to sell any cars.
That does, and even if he did get an offer, he'd sell it happily because he's, well above net price or whatever he's bought it for. So
to their own. Each to their own.
Dodgy, like just your crazy clients.
Dodgy spec.
That's the dodgiest specked out client I've dealt with.
I think we should probably wrap it up actually, just because the camera is about to die.
Oh, yep.
This could be a short podcast. This is fun.
Mainly story time from me, but anyway.
No. It's interesting. What do we talk about? We talked about Instagram relationships, Tinder. We talked about
we talked about good
clout,
stuff.
and we talked about client stories and whether we're going to India or not.
We will one day. Maybe not next year, but the year after. Yeah.
One day.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Anyway, fun podcast. You want to sign off?
Yes.
Limon?
Yes. So thank you so much once again for listening to this shorter Between the Frames podcast. You can find us on a whole bunch of different platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. We're on Stitcher. We're on Alexa. We're on, another one I forgot to mention in previous ones, iHeartRadio.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
iHeartRadio.
We're on
YouTube.
We are on YouTube, believe it or not.
That's the most important one. Spotify as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're on a whole bunch of other ones. So check us out on those. Give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, you force the audience to give us
if you enjoy our content.
Give me 5-star.
Please consider giving us a 5-star rating.
But it just means,
don't
more
consider,
people
just
can,
do it. Don't think, just do.
Please.
Yeah. Well, it just means that more people can find our podcast and be able to be entertained by what we say. That's the main thing.
Exactly.
So, yeah, thank you for listening. Our email. So we have the Between the Frames podcast Gmail, which is betweentheframespodcast@gmail.com.
Yep.
You
send
can
your questions
send in questions that you like for us to talk about.
Or stories or whatever.
Stories. Anything you find interesting that you want us to expand on, send it to there. So, yeah. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
See ya.
See ya.